The story of flight is more than the story of an invention. It's a story of dreams, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of the impossible. For centuries, humankind gazed up at the sky, imagining the day they could soar like birds. But it wasn't until two brothers born in Dayton, Ohio, that this dream would begin to take flight. Literally. Wilbur and Orville Wright were not the stereotypical image of inventors. They didn't have advanced college degrees, and they didn't have vast financial backing. What they did have, however, was an unyielding passion for solving a problem that had baffled mankind for centuries: human flight. Born in the late 1800s, the Wright brothers were two self-taught engineers. They didn't just look to the great minds of the past for answers. They questioned everything. They observed, experimented, and most importantly, failed. But in every failure, they found the fuel for their next attempt. Before they were pioneers of flight, Orville and Wilbur were bicycle makers. In fact, it was their background in mechanical design and engineering that would lay the foundation for their success. The skills they honed in their bicycle shop, understanding balance, control, and efficiency, were precisely what they needed to design a flying machine. In 1899, after years of research and observation, the Wright brothers began building their first gliders. They didn't just want to fly, they wanted to control flight. For them, it wasn't enough to get off the ground. They were after stability, maneuverability, and most importantly, control. The key to their success was something simple, yet revolutionary: a movable rudder and an innovative method of wing warping to control balance in the air. By adding these to their gliders, they were able to achieve controlled, sustained flight, something no one had done before. But success didn't come easy. Time and time again, the brothers faced setbacks. Their gliders crashed, their engines failed. But every time they picked themselves up, they learned something new. And soon their dream of powered flight was no longer just a vision, it was within reach. In December of 1903, in the windswept sands of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, the Wright brothers took a momentous step in history. On December 17th, after years of planning, designing, and experimenting, they achieved the first powered, controlled, and sustained flight. Orville was at the controls, and for 12 seconds, 12 miraculous seconds, the Wright flyer lifted off the ground, flew for 120 feet, and gently touched down. It was a moment that changed the world forever. What followed was even more remarkable. The Wright brothers didn't stop after just one flight. On that same day, they made 4 flights, each one longer and more controlled than the last. The world had just witnessed the birth of modern aviation. And yet, even as they made history, the brothers faced skepticism. Many doubted their achievement, thinking it was a fluke. But the Wright brothers weren't interested in proving doubters wrong. They were focused on refining their invention and, more importantly, on sharing their work with the world. Over the next 2 years, the Wright brothers continued to perfect their design. By 1905, they had created the first true practical airplane, one that could fly for over 30 minutes and cover several miles. The world, it seemed, was finally ready for powered flight. By 1908, the Wright brothers were performing public demonstrations and wowing crowds with their flying machines. But they weren't just showing off. They were proving that powered flight was more than just a novelty. It was a new chapter in human achievement. In time, they won contracts with the US government, and their design would become the blueprint for modern aircraft. Their success opened the skies to a future of air travel and exploration that at the time was unimaginable. Today, as we board airplanes that take us across the globe in a matter of hours, it's easy to forget that all of this began with 2 brothers in a small shop in a town that most people had never heard of. Orville and Wilbur Wright didn't just give us the gift of flight, they gave us the courage to chase our dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. The Wright brothers didn't just invent an airplane, they changed the way we think about possibility. And so, as we look up at the sky, we're reminded that even the most extraordinary achievements begin with a single step and a relentless belief in what can be done.
If you enjoyed this story of invention, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we uncover more groundbreaking ideas that change the world.